We have some massive updates to unpack today, including an unexpected generational leap for the Mac Studio, the upcoming iPhone Ultra hitting an unexpected manufacturing milestone, and a couple of brand new Apple Pencils hiding a secret design shift. But it is not all good news, because a pretty frustrating downgrade was just leaked for the highly anticipated OLED iPad mini. And look, if you are planning to pick up that new iPad mini, or honestly any tablet at all, you already know you need a solid screen protector. That is why you should check out our sponsor, Paperlike. They make the absolute best feeling display covers out there. Writing or sketching with an Apple Pencil on a regular glass screen feels slick and unnatural, but Paperlike adds that perfect textured resistance that makes it feel exactly like real paper. They also have an entire lineup of killer accessories, from ergonomic pencil grips to replacement tips. Give your hands and your tablet a massive upgrade by checking out the Paperlike link down in the description right now. Now, let us get straight into that Mac Studio news, because this is wild. Right now, the most powerful Mac Studio you can buy runs on the M3 Ultra chip. Everyone assumed an M4 Ultra version was dropping next, but the latest supply chain reports say Apple is actually skipping the entire M4 Ultra generation completely. Instead, they are jumping straight to the M5 Ultra, which is scheduled to land later this year. And get this, the exact same massive leap might happen a few years down the road, too. Word on the street is that Apple intends to jump directly from the M5 Ultra to an M7 Ultra, completely bypassing the M6 generation for its high-end desktops. Apparently, there will be a basic entry-level M6 chip, but no M6 Pro, Max, or Ultra. Apple is reportedly in a massive rush to get to the M7 architecture because those chips are being custom-built from the ground up to handle intense local AI workloads. To cope with all that extra heat, Apple is even developing a completely redesigned internal cooling system for that future M7 beast. For this upcoming M5 Ultra model, though, expect the exact same metal shell and internal layout we have right now. Did you know the current Mac Studio actually uses two completely different internal cooling setups depending on the model you buy? The standard Max chips use a lightweight aluminum design, while the heavier Ultra chips get a massive, solid copper block. That copper heatsink makes the Ultra models a full 2 pounds heavier. My guess is that by the time the M7 generation hits, Apple might make the copper block standard on the Max chips, while giving the Ultra models an entirely new high-efficiency cooling material. But you might want to start saving your pennies right now, because the pricing is going to hurt. The current M3 Ultra already saw a massive $1,300 price bump, bringing the starting price to $5,300. With a jump straight to the M5 Ultra, a base configuration could easily start around $6,000. Shifting gears over to the iPad lineup, Apple is quietly developing two brand new Apple Pencils to launch alongside the next iPad Pros. One will be a budget-friendly replacement for the old USB-C pencil from a few years back, the one that annoyingly required a cable to juice up. The other one is a refreshed version of the premium Apple Pencil Pro. Now, the current Pencil Pro already has basically every feature a digital artist could ever want. It has barrel roll detection, haptic feedback, wireless charging, and stellar battery life. So what is left to change? Well, regulatory pressure might be the real answer here. New European Union laws require consumer electronics to have batteries that are much easier to replace. It looks like this new design might just be an internal tweak to make the battery swappable, so don't expect any crazy new artistic features. Speaking of software and updates, the public betas for Apple's next major operating systems just went live. Anyone can download and test the new software right now without needing a paid developer account. All you have to do is hop into your settings, look for software updates, and toggle on beta updates. Just a quick word of warning though, Never install a beta on your primary phone or tablet. Even if the early reviews say it is stable, a sudden glitch can easily wipe your data or soft brick your device. If you have an old spare phone lying around, go nuts. Otherwise, just wait for the stable release. While we are on the topic of software, a bizarre glitch just sent the Apple collector community into a total panic. Apple suddenly stopped verifying old operating systems like iOS 10 for the ancient iPhone 5C and iOS 9 for the original iPad mini. Usually, Apple keeps the final supported software version signed forever, so old tech can always be restored. If a collector needed to wipe their device while those signatures were down, it would have permanently bricked the hardware. Thankfully, it turned out to be a simple server mistake, and Apple turned the signatures back on 24 hours later. Your vintage tech collection is totally safe. Now, let us talk about that upcoming iPad mini redesign. We previously suspected Apple might cut corners on the display, and a highly reliable supply chain leaker just confirmed the bad news. The new iPad mini will indeed feature an OLED screen, but it is going to be a basic 60Hz panel using older LTPS technology. What does that actually mean for you? Well, premium screens use LTPO technology, which allows the display to dynamically change its refresh rate to save power and enable an always-on display. Because this new Mini is stuck on the cheaper LTPS tech, it means we are definitely stuck with a standard, rigid 60Hz refresh rate. No super smooth scrolling, and absolutely no always-on display feature. It is a pretty tough pill to swallow, especially since rumors suggest the retail price is actually going up. It will still look significantly better than the old LCD screen, but it is definitely a massive missed opportunity. If you want to make your current screen look incredible right now though, go check out wallpapersapp.com. Our team of 40 digital artists has put together an insane library of nearly 3,000 stunning, high-quality images. Finally, the heavily anticipated iPhone Ultra has officially entered full mass production. This means a late September launch is pretty much a locked-in certainty. Apple originally planned to build around 7 to 8 million units, but they just bumped that order up to 10 million. Clearly, Apple expects this ultra-premium device to sell like absolute crazy, even with a rumored price tag pushing way past $2,000. To keep production costs down during the current global memory shortage, Apple is reportedly looking into a backup RAM supplier based in China. The catch? That specific manufacturer is currently blacklisted by the United States government over national security concerns. Apple is technically still legally allowed to buy components from them, but turning to a blacklisted company shows just how desperate the supply chain situation is getting. If it keeps the retail cost of the phone from skyrocketing, it is ultimately a win for our wallets. Lastly, if you visit an Apple store soon, you might notice the employees are using a much sleeker checkout system. They are finally ditching those ancient, bulky plastic scanning cases that held old iPhone 14s. The retail teams are upgrading to standard iPhone 16 models to process transactions. The new phones can read heavy metal credit cards seamlessly through Tap to Pay without needing any heavy external hardware strapped to the back. That wraps up all the chaotic Apple news for this week. Let me know down in the comments which of these updates surprised you the most. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button for more fast tech breakdowns. I will see you all in the next video.